Welcome to Analyzing Attitude, episode 14. We're coming off the heels of the Mike Tyson Stone Cold Steve Austin confrontation. We're 2 weeks removed from the Royal Rumble. We've got so much to get to. This one is on January 26, 1998. Thanks for joining us. Welcome into the 14th edition of Analyzing Attitude. I'm Jimmy Allen. That's the good Dr. Mike Sweeney. We appreciate you joining us here on our weekly rewatch of the Attitude Era. Today brings us to January 26, 1998. And Mike, the reason this date is so significant is this is the week after Stone Cold Steve Austin's infamous confrontation with Mike Tyson in the middle of the ring. We're going to hear from Don King and what could possibly lead to Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mike Tyson on a collision course at WrestleMania. I've got a theory on what exactly the reason for Vince McMahon's promo about sports entertainment was from just a couple of months ago and how that rolls in to what we're going to see at WrestleMania with Mike Tyson. Also, we have a European Championship match tonight with the title on the line. Usually not a big deal, but Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who is still dealing with a dislocated knee, has given Owen Hart an opportunity to get in the ring with him and give him a European Championship shot. I'm excited to talk about all this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everything is coming off the heels of the Tyson Stone Cold confrontation. We are getting recaps all across the show of news outlets all across the news media world advertising it. It's pretty cool. We got some shenanigans that just smell like they're in the air with this Owen Hart Triple H match. We got some positives though. There's no Barriquas on the show, no Truth Commission or the Jackal.
We're just getting out of an era and moving into another. But you're right. We open up the show properly with all the different news outlets and the tabloids and local media, national media talking about Mike Tyson being in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was the biggest discussion at this time in all of sports and entertainment. For anybody that doesn't remember, Mike Tyson is currently suspended by the Las Vegas Gaming Committee and the Nevada Boxing Commission from fighting in the ring. So anything with Mike Tyson's name on it right now is a controversy lightning rod, and it is taken off here. And Vince McMahon takes a big $3.5 million gamble here with Mike Tyson. It's paying off.
And very much so because, he's getting the bad press everywhere else, but there's nothing right now that would be so bad for the WWF to jump on than having Tyson in their company now.
Listen, it's not like the WWF's getting the best press either. We're just a couple weeks away from DX having to go out and mention the words they will or won't say on Monday Night Raw after a cease and desist from the USA Network and the suck it chants. And you kind of have some racial undertones with the Nation of Domination versus the DOA and things like that. Like it's not like the WWF smells like a bunch of roses right now either.
No, but at the same time, I feel like they just don't care. They're going for the risk and hoping for all the reward. And we know.
Go ahead, sir.
I'd say, as we know, the reward does pay off.
Yeah, and I think at this time where we are in pop culture, I mean, Jerry Springer and Howard Stern are whatever is beyond pushing the envelope. That's what they're doing at this time. So it's kind of like, hey, Crash TV is all the rage right now, and we're going to join those ranks.
And they are jumping in with both feet, man. It's all over the place. I mentioned some people we won't see on the show, but there's an act that we see multiple times that
is maybe at the top of that controversy.
Exactly.
Let's get into it then, because we opened the show up proper with Mark Henry versus Ken Shamrock, World's Strongest Man versus World's Dangerous Man. The Nation comes out first and they hit the pose, and I thought it was really interesting because Rocky tries getting in the middle and Farouk literally shoves him to the back. They do the fist pose, and Rock just stands there holding the belt, and Ken Shamrock comes out. And we find out that we're going to get an 8-man tag at No Way Out Texas, which is the next pay-per-view that we're leading up to before WrestleMania. It's going to be Ken Shamrock with Ahmed Johnson and the DOA versus the Nation. Now Shamrock comes out, another massive pop here for Ken. He pauses at the top of the ramp and points backwards, and here comes Ahmed Johnson as well. who is going to be his teammate at the pay-per-view. And then Ahmed Johnson counts out how many people are in the ring and points out how many people that are missing in the DOA come out following him as well. And this is where we get the information about the tag match happening. But we already know what it is. Nobody cares about this match in attendance. Everybody, and I mean everybody, their mom, their grandma, their aunt, their uncle, whoever that's in attendance is all over the Rock, chanting Rocky sucks here, not paying any attention to what's going on in the match. Mark Henry hits 3 bear hugs during this match. We know what it is. It's an 8-man tag, and all 8 men break out, and we get a fight here. The faces clear the ring. Dio and Ken Shamrock gets the win because of the disqualification. But I thought it was a really interesting way to build towards the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and when you saw all the guys out in there at the ringside, it's like, gee, I wonder if there's going to be a schmoz finish. And that's exactly what we got. Shamrock still very great with the crowd. They came alive when he hit that spin heel kick and power slammed Mark Henry.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Very impressive feat of strength. But you're building towards the pay-per-view. I do think this is what they should have done last week in teasing more dissension with Farouk and The Rock. But, it wasn't too bad. I think that the big downer is Shamrock's partners, all of them.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's clearly, no pun intended, the face of that team.
Yeah.
One thing that's been a common theme throughout this rewatch is every time the first match happens, we get a breakdown with the announcers, and they tell us what to expect, what's coming up. And when we get here, we get Jim Ross, Kevin Kelly, and Michael Cole telling us what's coming up. We mentioned Don King is going to join us later in the show and talk about what happened last week with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mike Tyson. Plus, DX is going to address Mike Tyson as well. We saw them chumming it up backstage with Mike Tyson, and Stone Cold Steve Austin is here as well. And he's going to challenge Mike Tyson, is what the announcers tell us. We go to break, and we come back, and Kevin Kelly tells us that that the closest most personal rivalry in WWF history is between Kane and The Undertaker. This rivalry, listen, he's right now in 2025. He's probably correct. This is 6 months into this rivalry at the time.
That's what I was like. I don't know, man. I would go a lot more than that one at the time.
The Mega Powers exploded.
Yeah.
Like I get it's brother versus brother. You can even throw Owen and Brett into that equation. Like, this is very entertaining and probably the most eye-grabbing. I don't know if I'd call it the closest, most personal rivalry at the time.
I would say
then again, Owen Hart never lit Bret Hart on fire. So
correct. I would definitely say, since probably Bret and Owen, that this is the most compelling rivalry there's been. But like you said, we're still early. They haven't even had a match yet. I don't even think Kane's had a match yet.
Correct.
So I mean, how can you?
We get a recap of the entire 6-month rivalry up until this point, and then we get the first footage of the burnt casket that they were able to extinguish. That, for anybody that didn't watch the Royal Rumble rewatch with us, Kane threw the Undertaker into a casket. Him and Paul Bearer used padlocks to lock it shut. They dumped gasoline on it. They lit a match on it and threw it on, and it lit on fire. They extinguished the fire. They lift the casket up. There's nobody inside, but I thought it was really funny that they did this because the entirety of the inside of the casket looks undamaged as well.
For sure.
So it's like, even if the Undertaker wasn't there, he probably would have been okay.
Yeah, just a little hair singeing. But yeah, that was
which he's not been impartial to for the rest of his career.
Well, if we get down to 2010, we'll definitely cover that one.
Yeah.
But that was another one I thought they should have showed last week, like just to continue it on.
So they teased it and they never showed it.
Right.
I thought that was weird.
And I'd say you had the footage, but nonetheless, it was for a late '90s video package. It was pretty well done leading up to it.
I need to do some research on what we get next because, and I hate to admit this out loud, I'm a little intrigued by the NWA storyline, like what it could have been. Now, it's clearly almost an exact ripoff of what the NWO is doing on the other channel, just very, 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 very watered down.
Yeah.
But if you weren't with us last week, Barry Windham turned on Bradshaw, left him. He joined the NWA guys, which right now is Jim Cornette, Jeff Jarrett, and then the Rock and Roll Express. And you had Barry Windham in the equation. This is what kind of pissed me off. They're taking on the Road Warriors here, and you have a legit established tag team in the Rock and Roll to take on the Legion of Doom. We get an interview beforehand where Barry Windham says that he was sick of tag teaming with Yosemite Sam. because the cowboy mustaches and all that.
Who looked exactly the same as
and Barry Windham now has a shaved face, which looks horrible compared to the way he did look. And then Jeff Jarrett says that he's the only champion that's worth a damn around here, while the NWA Tag Team Champions are standing right behind him.
Yep.
But you're getting one of the greatest tag teams of all time in the Road Warriors, and you have the Rock and Roll Express sitting right there. And for some odd reason, we're having them take on Jeff Jarrett and Barry Windham here.
I was right with you, man. I was like, why? I mean, I know they're a bit seasoned at this point. Granted, I think the Rock and Roll Express are still wrestling to this day.
They are.
But I'm like, why are we not at least doing that? I mean, I guess trying to get Barry Windham the heat, but he didn't look good with the shaved face. The only time he looked all right with the shaved face was when he had the blonde hair. I don't know. He looked like a mustache-less Dan Severn.
Yeah, listen, man. He didn't look great in this match either. Like we talked about how seasoned the Rock and Roll were. Barry Windham is clearly past his time here. Yep. We have this moment where we get into the match and Jeff Jarrett hits a stun gun and Hawk no-sells it. And Jim Cornette was on the commentary and pops up. But Barry Windham comes in and hits Hawk with like the weakest double axe handle I've ever seen. And then he gives this like weak-ass karate chop thing as well. He was clearly out of shape. It's like he put on 40 pounds from last week, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know a mustache could make you gain 40 pounds.
That's where all the dietary things are at.
Apparently.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did this. At least Jarrett, when he got in there, was like, I forgot how well Jarrett moved.
He could go, man. He could go.
Yeah, bumping, selling all over the place. Very smooth. But then we get Barry's landless ass back in there.
Was not good.
And like there was like, what are we doing? Weren't Road Warriors just feuding with
the tag team champions?
Yeah, and now we're just having them in this meaningless feud. And I was with you. I'm intrigued by this NWA stuff, but I think the problem is they got guys that were well past their prime.
Yeah, and listen, here's the other problem. You know exactly what it is. It's the same thing that happened in the first match. Rock and Roll get up on the apron. Jim Cornette throws in the loaded racket to Windham. He cracks with this shot. I mean, I don't know what was in that racket, but it sounded like a shotgun when he hit him with it. Windham covers Animal. Animal clearly kicks out at 2 here.
Yeah.
But Tim White pins his shoulders down. And we just beat the Legion of Doom with Jeff Jarrett and Barry Windham.
Yeah, I was trying to remember, since we've been doing this, has LOD won a match?
No, they have not.
That's what I was like. What? Maybe that's why he didn't like. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to kick out at 2.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They could be disgruntled at this point, both of them.
We talked about pushing the envelope a minute ago. Before we go to commercial break, we see DX backstage. We're going to hear from Degeneration X when we come back. Hunter drops his pants on camera, and Shawn holds the European Championship up right in front of his crotch to cover it. Jim Ross says, we don't know what we're going to hear, say, or see when we come back. And DX comes back to open up the segment, and JR asks Shawn about Tyson, but Hunter interrupts him and says that Owen Hart's going to see Triple H like he's never seen him before tonight. Hint, that comes up later. And he keeps watching, he keeps wincing as China is wrapping his knee. Remember, he legitimately has a dislocated kneecap at this time, and China is wrapping it because he's supposed to take on Owen Hart tonight. And he's hinting at, I'm still hurt. But he said that he's going to flush the nugget Owen Hart down the drain, and it's going to go down that sewage drain that leads down to the south like the rest of his family. So just a reminder, we chose to let Bret Hart go because he's down a septic tank.
Yep. And I think he even called him Mr. Hanky at one point, which more South Park references.
Yeah, they are all in on South Park gimmick.
Man, I feel like they were getting like a sponsorship from them or something. But
yeah, I think they probably owed South Park a little bit of money for all these references and T-shirts that they were using at the time. Cease and desist, brother.
No kidding. But they were very good at the wordplay and teasing. With the coming match later, Triple H maybe a little bit of overkill on the wincing, but then it goes to Shawn.
Was not winning an Oscar for this.
No.
Yeah. Shawn then addresses the commentating team and says that DX gets several cards from parents thanking them for being such great role models that they are, and he said it only takes one bad apple, and that apple is Steve Austin. Shawn says that he's gonna have to forego his title defense at WrestleMania to allow Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mike Tyson to duke it out and see who is the baddest man on the planet. But Hunter says, Shawn, you're the showstopper. You're the icon. You're the main event. It's WrestleMania. You got to be involved somehow. And Shawn goes, maybe I could handle Sable. No, somebody get mad about that. Maybe I could manage one of the minis. No, that won't work. If there's just something I could do. And he stands up and unbuttons his jacket, and he's wearing a referee shirt. And he goes, "Oh, I could referee the Austin Tyson match." So we're hinting Tyson can't fight. He can wrestle. Shawn Michaels, the WWF champion, could be involved here. What could happen at WrestleMania?
And that was kind of my theory that I had for the night. I doubt it, but then later on, JR during some match says, "Who knows if Shawn will even be champion by Mania?" We all know he broke his back, so I don't know if they're like assessing how bad it is and if they need to.
They were leaving themselves options,
right? So, but I mean, I don't even think Tyson could wrestle. Because wasn't he just banned from in-ring competition altogether?
We're gonna get to that when we get to the Don King segment. Right. Up next, we have Vader versus Vader. We're continuing this feud. We saw the kind of blow off at the Royal Rumble between Vader and the artist formerly known as Goldust, but here comes Goldust and Luna Vachon, and they're both dressed as Vader. So
Vader Dust.
we're just doubling down on the stealing gimmick thing. But I was really pissed when I saw this. I was like, why are we doing this? I'm really glad that we got something out of this match.
Yeah, it was. I was with you, and the only thing I was happy about at first was like, you know what? He's not that scantily dressed.
He's wearing something underneath.
Yeah, and he's got a painted on Vader mask. They both do. But yeah, I wasn't psyched about it at first, but when we get to the finish here, it was pretty worth it.
And we got to it pretty quickly. Vader comes out and he kind of gets the upper hand, and then he power bombs Goldust, sets him up for the Vader bomb. He hits it, and then the lights go out. The organ plays, and here comes Kane. And I loved everything about this because up until this point, we've had guys attack Kane and nothing happened and no selling, and guys that kind of backed down and haven't measured up to him. Vader went right at Kane, kind of got the upper hand, gives him a pile driver, kind of scary looking reverse tombstone one that did not look good, by the way.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like the one that Owen Hart did on Austin. I was like, I've never seen it done that way before. But he picks him up for like a regular pile driver, but then does the tombstone drop, and it's like that looked gnarly.
Yeah, it did not look good. But Kane no sells that, and Goldust hinted like he was going to get back in the ring. It caught Vader off guard just enough. Kane gets up, and he struggles to get Vader up here. And this could have been really bad for the Kane gimmick. Like we talk about all the things, like the reason other gimmicks that haven't worked. This could have been a career killer, but Glenn Jacobs was able to hold 450 pounds of Vader up and deliver a tombstone. Super impressive.
Yes, it looked a little wobbly there.
He falls over here, it might be over.
Yeah, and he goes like almost damn near all the way to the corner, and I was like, oh man, is he about to just drop him out of the ring just to save face? But
yeah, I think he might have went with like a snake eyes or something. But whatever.
He pulled it off.
Yeah, and we have Kane still looking like a monster here, and we still haven't heard from the Undertaker. And Paul Bear told us last week he's gone forever, and JR hints at it here that we don't know the next time we'll see the dead man.
Yeah, and we gotta keep it going because they still got 2 months till Mania, so keep Taker off TV for a little bit. Maybe it is a little strange to be showing the casket being empty because then you could have played with that because now it's just kind of like, where is he? But but you know what? It's all right.
Where's Leslie Nielsen when you need him?
Yeah, right. And I kind of like the Kane and Vader pairing there. So
I do too.
I can't remember if they go a few weeks here or not, but it was enjoyable. I liked it.
We now get to the War Zone, so we're already through the first hour. Quick first hour tonight. 3 recaps, 3 of them of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mike Tyson. We're not going to highlight all of those. There's 7 in totality during the show, by the way. So they harp on it quite a bit. But we get this cool view that I can't remember ever before or after this. Mick Foley and Cactus Jack. Really quick, sorry, before we get to that. The Warzone theme now includes the Outlaws and Kane, by the way. So we're still building these stars up. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that. But we get that really cool visual before the match. The show even starts with people walking around of Mick Foley Mick Foley and Terry Funk sitting there talking about Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack and how crazy they are and how excited they are to see them. And maybe Terry Funk Chainsaw Charlie will do a moonsault onto Billy Gunn, yada yada. But I thought this was really cool and really a peel back of the curtain.
Yeah, and I don't remember them ever doing that, but I was like, man, it's like this Unreal show that just came out, and then we flash back to 27 or whatever years ago, and Yeah, they're just you could tell they're still having fun with it. Like
Yeah, oh yeah, they were yucking it up. They were having a great time.
Funk was saying that Cactus Jack has
Kind
got
of fat, has a
kind
big
of fat.
ass.
Yeah, it was a good time though.
Really, yeah. And then obviously we get the match. We get the Outlaws versus Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack here, and this was a slugfest, man. This was absolutely great. The Outlaws came prepared because they come out wearing catcher's gear because they need protection from these crazies. Jack and Charlie come out and they jumpstart this match right away. They had to, right? Like Billy Gunn baseball slides Mick. They get up, they get out, and get after it on the ramp. Like this couldn't be a slow, methodical collar and elbow lock up to start this thing.
It's been insanity every time these four guys have been around each other. So just started off hot and heavy and go for it right off the bat. And I feel like this whole match could have been meat and potatoes. But
by the way, we're gonna get to our meat and potatoes very soon here. But Mick gets the upper hand of Billy Gunn on the rampway while Chainsaw Charlie and Road Dogg are kind of going in that in the ring. Mick crawls into the ring, goes to give the Road Dogg a low blow. I forgot what happens at the end of this match. I thought Mick actually got him because the right hand that Road Dogg throws here is definitely a receipt from something.
Yes. yeah. I feel like he got hit in his Jesse James, man, and he was about to call somebody with his fist, man.
Yeah, but the commentators mentioned that Road Dogg must be wearing a cup. Doesn't phase him at all. He punches Mick in the face. We found out at No Way Out. We know what Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Champion are doing. This has got to be a way to kind of hide Shawn, I'm guessing, in his back injury. Because at No Way Out, we're getting Stone Cold Steve Austin, Owen Hart, Charlie and Jack. They're going to take on the Outlaws and DX. I totally forgot this happened.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I thought Shawn was done until Mania. And so maybe he's in this match. Maybe they call in a substitute. I can't remember.
I can't either. I'm excited to watch this.
Right. I was like, damn, on paper it's like all 8 of those guys is like that sounds like a master class and matches. So yeah, and they did good on building to that later on too. But yeah, we just got just carnage galore going on right now.
Jack gets the hot tag, comes in, hits the double arm DDT on Road Dogg. Excuse me, it's a double arm DDT on Billy. Road Dogg interrupts the count. Terry Funk starts throwing chairs into the ring, and it kind of felt like they were trying to recreate what happened in ECW, right?
Oh yeah, just flood the ring with chairs. And
well, if you watch it, Terry's throwing them into the ring and then like looking at the crowd. He's like, I wonder if he's thinking, start throwing chairs or please don't throw chairs and get me fired.
Right. It's definitely a double take on his end.
But Mick gets the upper hand on the Road Dogg, or hits Road Dogg with the chair, reaches down in his pants, pulls the cup out, hits the double arm DDT. Road Dogg gets out. Here's our meat and potatoes of the night because Mick sends a receipt for that stiff right hand a minute ago and wallops the Road Dogg with the chair. Really cool here because he goes to the outside of the ring and he drops the Cactus Jack elbow onto Billy while he's holding a chair. Mm-hmm. So the Outlaws have been leaving people laying. For the first time, we see the Outlaws get their comeuppance here, and we're still doing a tease because the officials call for the bell, so the Outlaws technically win by DQ. I don't know why it took the 4th chair shot for that to happen, but Mick applies the mandible claw, so we're still teasing. Mick can't control his personalities and keep them in line here. Where does Cactus Jack end and Mankind begin? I thought that was really cool that we're still continuing that story.
Very, and like that switch just flipped, and like I didn't even see that referee. He was just out of the camera shot and just bam right in the mouth with the mandible claw. It was I thought I saw when he like got up that the ref's lip was split, but Victor,
yeah, because Mick popped him. It clearly wasn't on purpose, but we're not done here though. They get back in the ring and they start burying Road Dogg in chairs. Terry Funk hits a moonsault off the top rope onto Road Dogg covered in chairs, and he can barely lift his right arm after this. This looked brutal, man.
Yeah, he landed right on it. I did not like how he stacked the chairs. There was 3 of them.
Imagine how Road Dogg felt.
Oh, I know. They're all so flimsy. I mean, I wouldn't have liked to have been Road Dogg in that, but yeah, Terry's arm looked like that. He took a rough landing on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just doing a great sell job here, but it didn't look like he could lift it up very high.
Right. Yeah, it was a move that I wouldn't have risked, or at least planned it a little bit better.
We next get a recap of Taka Michinoku's kind of run as the light heavyweight champion here, and all he's had to overcome. He's gone through English lessons with Jim Ross. He's been harassed by Jerry Lawler, dealt with Brian Christopher, etc., etc., etc. But we get a number 1 contenders match next for the light heavyweight championship between Brian Christopher and Pantera.
Yeah, and we had Honky Tonk Man in Sonny's role as the ring announcer for this match, which I guess playing into family ties because that's wait, no, is
Yeah,
that true? Yeah,
they'd be cousins.
that's right. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, I thought
Because
I was
for
on
anybody that
that.
doesn't know, Jerry Lawler and the Honky Tonk Man are legit first cousins in real life.
Right, and I thought that would have been something, but that Honky Tonk Man didn't play shit into this.
Yeah, it was very weird. Apparently just looking for a payday here. But the Honky Tonk Man introduces too sexy Brian Christopher, by the way. So we're heading down that train of getting the too cool references already into the trout here, but
He's not quite a grandmaster yet.
not yet. But Pantera's already in the ring, so it kind of feels like, all right, here we go. We're gonna get Brian Christopher versus Taka Michinoku again.
Yep.
Honky Tonk sits down and JR goes, "This is nepotism." And King says, "This is a family show. Watch your mouth." King says, "You know what? Just to show no favoritism, whoever wins this match, I'll get in the ring and I'll shake their hand." And JR says, "Well, I hope you're a man of your word because we're going to hold you to that." But the match starts and Brian Christopher drops Pantera on his head with this gnarly looking German suplex. And I didn't know if he was going to get up from that. That looked pretty wicked.
No, his head bounced for sure. That's the thing about the lightweights though that always kind of makes me worried.
They can flip and flop, yeah.
Oh man, and they smack that the ground when they take a move, man.
And Christopher gets him up, and obviously Pantera is able to continue here. Some back and forth action. Christopher hits the sunset flip power bomb to the outside. Like, I forgot how much it just pissed me off. How much I know that's what he's going for, but it's go away heat, not heel heat. You know what I mean? The laugh he does is just too much.
Yeah. I can't even do it all, but like,
it's because he clearly doesn't know what to do next and is looking for the camera. Like, it doesn't feel organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there was a few times he didn't even do the laugh. He just did that weird like facial expression. It's like it's so over the top, and it ends up working when he gets to the tag team that ends up defining his career. But it was not doing
just
it for
not
me.
with this gimmick. Yeah.
No. And I was so worried we were going to get him and Taka again.
One of the cool things that I loved when Sami Zayn was in NXT was his dive between the turnbuckles from the outside DDT.
Yes.
And I wonder if this is where he gets it from, because afterwards they roll back into the ring and Pantera does this sweet run down the apron, dive between the turnbuckle and the ring post, suicide dive into Brian Christopher to look like $1 million.
Yeah, for sure. And that just shows like how much these guys are like, at least the Panteras of the world, or the other lightweights that are cruiserweights. They were just on another level on creativity and risk taking. And I would think for sure that Sammy did that just to put his own spin on it.
Yeah, and listen, this is probably the best light heavyweight match that we've had.
Oh, hands down.
It was fantastic. They get back in the ring, and Brian Christopher goes for his top rope leg drop, and Jerry Lawler gets up and celebrates and looks at the crowd, turns back in the ring, realizes Brian Christopher missed it. Pantera gets the roll up and gets the win. Jerry Lawler makes good on his due, gets in the ring to shake Pantera's hand, but of course we get a Jerry Lawler double cross here. I loved everything about this, minus Brian Christopher's overreactions.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain considering like what they've done for the last 2 months for that division, which is nothing, but like just kind of squander it, and you get glimpses of the brilliance of the division. But I was happy with the King's usage in it. It wasn't overly bearing as
much
he has
better
been
in this role. Yeah, yes. Much better.
And you know what? Pantera won, so that means we're actually going to get like a match between legit two. I'm just going to call them cruiserweights. Sorry, it's just easier that way.
Please do.
So I'm looking forward to that match down the line.
Up next, backstage, we catch up with Mick Foley and Terry Funk and Chainsaw Charlie, Cactus Jack backstage. D comes up and interrupts them and says they don't want to interrupt the hardcore legends. We'll give you your time. They back away. The Outlaws are standing behind the chain link fence, knock it over. They absolutely I don't know if Mick Foley owed Shawn Michaels money or something, but he's taking those legit heavy trash can barrels and throwing them on top of them. This was a great looking beatdown. Like, it got to the point that Mick scurried out from underneath the fence because of the lashings he was taking.
Right. And Terry Funk though stayed under and took it all.
He's a warrior, man.
He's a sucker for pain, man. But yeah, they were just laying it in thick. I think maybe Triple H got a kick in because of his leg, but I was even laughing at one point. I think I think it was Jared. They're like saying, "Somebody help them," and then China throws another trash can down. It's like, China, you're helping the wrong person. Yeah. But it was a fun backstage one, and it caught you by surprise because they came out from the curtained chain link fence.
We don't have the Bariquas on tonight's show, but we do have the Headbangers and the Quebecers, and they face each other next. The Quebecers just got a win last week over the number 1 contenders a week ago, and now they're taking on the Headbangers here, but they got the like, I don't know, very weird. Like it went through it quickly. It was kind of a pretty physical matchup, but it only goes 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Thrasher trips up Pierre. It allows Mosh to get the roll up for the win. So we just beat the number 1 contenders. Now the Headbangers are beating the Quebecers. I don't know. But this looked incredible because the Quebecers get their comeuppance after the match. They jump the Headbangers. They hit an Alabama slam that leads into a Boston Crab. Pierre gets up on the top rope and drops a leg off the top rope on Thrasher while he's still in the Boston Crab. This looked devastating.
That looked brutal. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of risk in there with your back already angled at that age. And man, he dropped a dime on him pretty good.
Thrasher lip, and I'm just hoping it's because he was selling it, folks.
Right. But no, this was totally like out of place. Like even at least the DOA, they've been toying with them being a part of a storyline. This was just thrown out there for whatever reason.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with how the Rougeaus have looked through these 2 weeks. Obviously,
sure.
a little bit past their prime. I think they've looked really good.
Yeah. But it's just like, where are they going? Because I don't remember these guys being around long.
That's probably for a good reason.
Right.
The European Championship is up next, and Owen Hart is set to take on Triple H. And Owen comes out first, and Triple H's music hits, and we get through the entirety of the DX Open. And then out comes a guy we've already seen tonight. It's Goldust dressed up as Triple H with a giant nose. And Jerry the King Lawler says that can't be Triple H. Hunter's nose is bigger than that.
Yeah,
and Luna is dressed up like China.
Mini China. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jerry with the line of the night. I about spit out my drink when I was watching that.
Wonder if that's why the King hasn't been around since Hunter took over.
Right. But to Goldust's credit, he had his mannerisms down pretty well.
Yeah, he got up on the top rope and did the crotch chop just like him. It was it was a pretty good look.
You know what? It's another one. I can't complain on how he was dressed again tonight. That's 2 in one night that I haven't minded.
Kind of feels like they're reeling it in a little bit.
Yeah. We've seen this character throughout the years, like the guy that Vince doesn't care for. Oh, just go dress like other wrestlers.
Yeah.
I think Goldust just was a masterclass at he was already just being weird and trying out everything. So why not just start dressing up like other superstars? So I thought it was a fun one, and this was a really good actually match, I thought, and
I did too.
The payoff was excellent.
Yeah, because Owen gets the win here. Owen gets whipped into the ropes. Luna hits him with his crutch. Goldust goes for the pedigree. Owen counters it into a sharpshooter, gets Goldust to tap out, and obviously gets the win over the match. Not over Triple H, but it was supposed to be for the European Championship. DX appears on the Titantron, calls Owen a loser. Can't believe he fell for it. DX got you again. Ha, 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 ha. Out comes Sergeant Slaughter. And obviously DX has gotten the best of Sergeant Slaughter, got the best of the WWF brass. And this is finally where Slaughter gets his comeuppance, because he laughs and says, "Oh yeah, DX, you got us again, Hunter. This is a good one." But Owen Hart was wrestling for the European Championship tonight, and he won, so he's the new European champion. The first time we've seen the brass get the one up on the DX.
Yeah, it was a great swerve, and finally something good for Owen, even though he didn't beat any of the actual members of DX.
Yeah,
you know, he got the one up on those guys, and he came away with some gold. My question is, I don't know why Triple H gave him the belt to actually go out there with, in storyline purposes, but I like the payoff, and it was
brother.
It was months of payoff for Slaughter too, to actually get one over on him, like you said, the brass finally.
We get the 7th recap of Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin from last week, and then Don King is talking on air, and he's back in Florida via satellite. And he says that Mike Tyson wants Stone Cold Steve Austin, but the Nevada State Commission says Tyson can't fight. But Vince McMahon and Don King have to come up with something. You've got to buy WrestleMania. Buy WrestleMania. Buy this pay-per-view. Buy WrestleMania. I think Don King might want you to buy WrestleMania, Mike.
He should get into promoting.
Yeah, he says that he and Vince McMahon will find a way to get Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mike Tyson in a ring together, and it's going to happen at WrestleMania 14.
You got two of the bigger promoters working together here, Don King and Vince McMahon.
At the time, the two biggest of all time.
For sure. And they're just laying it on thick that you're going to see these two entities at WrestleMania, and buy, please. That's all they want.
Spoiler alert, people do, by the way.
A little bit, yeah. I think they come away pretty decent on this one.
This is the first and last time I can remember this happening. Maybe it'll happen again throughout our rewatch. We end the show with a promo. We've been teasing all night. We're going to hear from Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's the guy that closes the show. Maybe there's a dark match or something for the live crowd. We don't get any stunners, no beer drinking, just a pissed off rattlesnake.
Yeah, and maybe 3 minutes of promo time.
3:41.
Yeah, just pretty much running down Stone Cold, or Mike Tyson. Hasn't even mentioned his WrestleMania opponent yet, which I get where it's kind of up in the air, probably backstage with Shawn, but this was just... I did not like this at all. Like,
yeah, it was rushed. It got the point across, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Austin and Rock, they know how to put a button on a promo, and that's what we get here. Well, all we kind of get is the promo. The glass shatters. And out comes the rattlesnake, and he gets in the ring, and he says, last week really pissed him off. He said that Mike Tyson shoved him in front of the world and thought he could get away without any payback. Tyson's going to find out firsthand that you don't mess with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Supposedly, Mike Tyson wants a piece. This is Austin, quoting Austin. Supposedly, Mike Tyson wants a piece of Stone Cold. He says he'll whoop Tyson's ass on Sunday. He'll whoop Tyson's ass in his backyard. He'll whoop Tyson's ass in Austin's backyard. Anyone here's backyard. Austin says he's going to send Tyson a beeper, a cell phone, and Austin's personal address so he can come find him. Austin says that he's going to knock that gold tooth out of Tyson's mouth and wear it like a chain. Austin says on February 15th, he's going to be in Houston, Texas, obviously for the No Way Out pay-per-view. And all Mike Tyson has to do is show up. And that's how we end Raw tonight. We'll go ahead and grade it, Mike. I'm gonna give it a C+. It wasn't great, but it kind of hit on a couple points. The Kane stuff with Vader was great. We are hammering home that Mike Tyson's going to be at not only at WrestleMania, but has the ability to show up at No Way Out. We kind of have an idea what's happening with Shawn Michaels. We're building towards WrestleMania, and I think they're doing it the right way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I gave it a C+ as well. I was like, it's a middle of the pack show. There wasn't really anything on the show that I feel like would have been a deemed worthy main event segment.
They didn't even have a main event.
No, like it was. I mean, Stone Cold was probably the best choice, but even then, I was like, it's just you got the point across. We're selling. We're keep going on this Mike Tyson thing, so people tune in. But it was, I don't know, it was too short.
You could make the case to let Owen Hart close out the show. Do you really want the European Championship closing the show, though? I don't know. It just kind of feels like it would have cheapened it.
Not against Goldust dressed as Triple H. I wouldn't do that.
And not while you have Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mike Tyson with the ability to talk about each other. You know what I mean? Sure.
I think the only thing I would have done different is like maybe even send Cole in there to do like the interview and ask him about it, and then drop him with the stunner. But it's nitpicky. It was a run of the mill show. I didn't mind it at all.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Analyzing Attitude. We're going to give away a PlayStation 5 to one of our first 1,000 subscribers. When we get there, leave us an oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Down in the comments below. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.